I miss you.
I miss you.
And I love you.
I love you, Daddy.
Meet your end. Say goodbye.
Halo Infinite walkthrough. So this boss, in my opinion, did not get nearly enough fanfare. I thought we probably should have seen him do some stuff a few more times. But as we can see right there, he is pretty aggressive and he will immediately kill you. But he's really not a difficult boss. So the objective up at the top left says survive. Just survive. That's a little bit misleading. We're actually supposed to defeat this guy. So if you can come in here with a plasma rifle, pulse rifle, and a precision weapon, that'll be best, because ultimately this boss is an elite. The toughest part about him is his shield. He has an elite amount of health, and that means very little, so a couple of headshots once his shields are down, and that's all it's going to take. He does spend most of his time invisible, so we're going to want to be using the pulse sensor, or the radar sensor, or whatever the heck it's called, and if that's upgraded to where it has a larger radius, you're pretty easily going to cover most of this arena. And his shields do regenerate, but they do seem to take a pretty long time. So I'm gonna try to be using the pulse rifle on him, or the plasma. Yeah, dang it, my goodness, why do they keep renaming weapons in this game? You guys know what I mean. And it's mostly just a matter of running around and not letting him hit you twice. If he hits you once, your shields go down, and then you can usually get away with a grapple shot. Just keep running, keep moving, just try to make sure that he doesn't get a second shot on you. But as we're going to see here, especially if I blow those up, and man, his shields really just don't seem to regenerate, do they? Once we get his shields down, he's really not a difficult boss. It was something that was kind of a little bit disappointing to me. I think he's like one of the coolest enemies that this game has, but you know, that's kind of how bosses go sometimes, so he's kind of here in the middle, and it's a little hard to aim with a pulse rifle when you can't actually see him, because the shots just sort of go wherever they want. They don't have their little homing in, and he also has to move before you can see him. I think you have to fully upgrade this radar thing to see people at all times, but I don't know where he is now. I know his shields are weak. There he is. He finally came out at me. We're gonna hit him enough times and try to keep our weapon from getting too hot. I think I'm deciding to YOLO it a little bit here, and gonna run away because now I'm out of ammo, but there are ammo boxes for this weapon all over the place, so we don't have to worry too much about that. And the guy's got like no shields. There he is. And now that he has his shields gone, as you can see, he's like pretty worthless. If he would just sit still and I could actually get a shot on him, yeah, that's it. He's dead. Get a cool new red sword. And now we can move on to the next boss.
To kill your friend, but I promised him a sweeter kill, or a warrior's death. Whatever the outcome, know this. The Banished control this ring. We came for war. 1,000 legions occupy this world. The Auditorium will give up its secrets. Your interference is just an irritation. Fleeting.
I'm getting a read on Echo 216. He's right above us. There he is. We need to get him out of that thing. Microgravity wells are putting enormous stress on his body.
I told you that I would not kill him.
Leave me. Run!
We'll get you out of here.
You will try.
Chief, he's here.
He knows I'm here. This was never a trap. It is a test of metal. Our battle ends here.
Get him out of there.
On it.
Bear witness. Our story will become legend, told by those that survive you.
At long last, we get to defeat Escharum now, and if you notice, there's a pile of those boxes that I put behind him, because he spawns there every single time. So before that cutscene, if you wanted to pile him up on an easier difficulty, I think you could pretty easily lure him into those and kill him. But that's not going to work on Legendary. These boxes don't do that much damage to guys, my goodness, they don't do that much damage to brutes on Legendary. Holy moly, I was tripping over my words there. So Escharum has a couple of nice tricks we have to worry about. First of all, once we get his health down to probably about, that looks like more like a fifth, but maybe like a quarter from this point onward, he's going to get a big old shield, and there's going to be like these capsule thingamajigs that we're going to have to destroy, and they're going to open up and spawn kind of where he was charging his shields up. And in the meantime, he's going to be chasing after us, and it's going to be pretty annoying. There we go, the relay. It's going to tell us we have to destroy a relay. It's going to be pretty annoying trying to stay alive while also dealing with those things. So there's one. It took a whole lot of shots, and at this point, the whatever it's called, the battle rifle is really not a super useful weapon. The Needler is going to go much further as far as damage goes, but I think I'm even going to run out of ammo on that eventually. And I was a little bit surprised because at first I thought this guy was somewhat easy. Like, he's sort of chasing me, but he's not doing a whole lot of damage to me. But I started struggling a lot when I got him down to like the third or so relay. And there are 4 of those that we're going to have to go through. So once we get his health low enough, he's going to charge his shields up again. And there's going to be another relay that spawns. So luckily there's a lot of these heavy weapons around, and that's going to be pretty helpful with blowing up those relays a little bit easier. But you are just going to want to make sure that you actually hit the relay, because it's pretty easy to miss. That's just how Halo Infinite is. And the shock rifle, which I am not a big fan of, is not such a bad weapon for this boss fight, although I don't really end up using it. So the first couple of phases, like that one that we just did where he ran around and lost some of his health and then activated the first relay, and then this one where we get this second one, this phase is not so bad. It's mostly when he drops his weapon and he starts chasing us with his hammer. That's when stuff gets really annoying. But anyway, this part I was stuck at for quite a while too, just because he got way more aggressive. I think I was just lucky earlier, but for some reason here he just got like way more aggressive, and I had a lot harder time actually taking out the stupid relay. So if we hit him with a couple of rockets there, then I think that'll get his health back really quick. Yeah, that'll get his shield back really quick. And that's a relay that I miss completely, because that's how Halo rockets work in Infinite for some reason. And then I'm going to keep running around, because that is one of the best things you can do in this game when you are low on shields, is just run away. But we still have to deal with that stupid relay, and he is just not behaving as nicely as he was before. So I'm going to try to see if I can whack it with that barrel, or not that barrel, that box, and it actually worked. Like, it blew up and killed the relay, so that was kind of lucky. There's skewers here, but it's legendary, so it's not super helpful. I mean, tickled him a little bit, but nothing like the rocket did, and he does tend to walk into you at a straight line, so it's not like it's so hard to hit him with the skewer. But the other problem is we're on legendary, it hardly does any damage, and the skewer hardly has any ammo, so it's, you know, what's the point? Anyway, it did get him low enough, especially with a couple of Needler shots. It did get him low enough that we can get the final relay to come up, and that was a little bit unfortunate on my part, but that's okay. So the relay's on the other side of this wall, and I'm gonna see what can I do to take it out. See if we can distract him. I threw a grenade in there because he showed up, and I think it blew up the relay. No, it did not. And it was probably because it was one of those like static grenades, not the actual grenade that does damage. And there we go, shock rifled it. So this is the part that becomes really tedious and took me a while because it's really easy to die here and I'm not really sure how else to do it. I'm sure there's a super easy way to do this part. Most of the bosses in Halo Infinite can be cheesed, but if you're not that kind of person, then we're going to be doing the merry-go-round with Escharum as he runs after us with his giant gravity hammer. So basically you want to try to get as far away from him as possible with the grapple shots on the long hallways, and turn around and get a couple of shots on him, and you want to try your best to keep him behind you at all times. Sometimes he'll try to cut through the arena, and that can be really bad for you because he'll just make a beeline right for you. But if you can kind of keep him behind you in these hallways, then you're pretty much just going to be turning around and shooting him and peppering him little by little until the idiot dies. And there's weapons all over the place. As far as I know, they keep respawning ammo, so you don't really have to worry too much about running out, but you may have to use weapons you don't like, or you're going to pick up a plasma pistol instead of the pulse rifle, because the plasma pistol is just the greatest dang weapon in the whole game, isn't it? Oh my goodness, I am really sad at what they did to the plasma pistol. But this is the rest of the video, besides the cutscene at the end. This is all I'm going to be doing, is just running around this stupid arena, peppering him little by little, because I think it's like 50% of his health is what we have left, and doing that until he dies. And like I said, this does take a while. It's extremely easy to die. If he charges at you and rams you and just hits you with the sword once, or with his hammer once, it is extremely easy to just die when he has like a sliver of health left, and that actually did happen to me. So I was a little annoyed by this point. I didn't like this boss too much. I felt like he just had way too much health, and it could have been a lot more cinematic, maybe just a lot more better. I don't really have any other words for that. I think it could have just been a lot more better had they not made him such a dang bullet sponge and made the boss fight a little bit more involved than run around and shoot him in the face. Sometimes he gets stuck behind boxes, but not for very long, usually. Alright, so that's gonna be the end of this video mostly. That's the Escharum boss fight. Once he's dead, then that's it. We're done with Escharum. We don't have to worry about him ever again. And we still have some bosses to deal with, though. The game is not over. There's still a couple of videos to go through, but we are getting closer and closer. So I will see you in the next part.
You did it. Help me get him out. Okay.
I can't believe you came. came for me. So we're done now, right?
Spartan! Fight me.
It's over.
Nothing ends. My death will inspire 1,000 others. Tell them I died well.
I don't understand. You showed him respect. He was a monster.
Yes. But at the end, he was just a soldier. Hoping he'd done the right thing. Questioning his choices.
So is it over? Their leader's dead, right?
The intricacies of any action are complex.
What? What are you talking about?
There will be consequences. There always are.
What could be worse?
We need to move. The Harbingers at the auditorium, whatever she's planning.
It's worse. I get it. Okay then. I have one question before we leave.
What is it?
Has anyone seen a pelican? Ow. What? What? I had a lot going on. I was busy. Are you ready? It's about to get rough. They're waiting for us. I think they're all waiting for us. Did you feel that? It's not too late to turn around.
Chief? Something feels... The silent auditorium. Oh no.
What is it? What's wrong?
I should have realized. That's not what it was called. I've been here before. This is where I locked her down. This is where Cortana died.
What do we call her?